What is going on, everybody? Voidlego here, back with a brand new episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last time we were on, we had managed to convince the rest of the class at the school to come with us in order to talk to CPS once again. And they gave us the same thing, same routine answers as before. So we are going pretty much trying to get as many people as we can in order to appeal to show the CPS how urgent Satoko's case is. But Oshi has warned us of how we should let sweeping dogs lie, and how that the CPS doesn't want to have a stain on their, mark. They don't want to be publicly shamed for their decision. But Kechi decided, even with the consequences in mind, he will still keep going with it, which is very, very cool. Last time I was reading comments, someone mentioned the theme of duality in this game. We've seen many, in the story at least, what do you call it? We've seen a lot of duality, like the surface level of Himizawa versus the dark layer of Himizawa, or the bright present and the dark past Himizawa has. And a lot of characters embody this duality as well. Heck, you could say for every single character, they have two sides to them. Like, for example, the poster girl, Lena. On the outside, she's, fun, funny, just, dumb. But the other side is that she is a girl whose parents got divorced, and she doesn't feel like she's in the right place. She feels out of place within her father's home. She feels like she's a leftover from her mother. She deeply hates her mother. We got the duality with, in the embodiment of duality with Shion and Mion, being the two sides of the Sonozaki family, really. With Mion being the head of the Sonozaki family, representing the bright future and prosperity of the Sonozaki clan. While with Shion, she represents the more violent tendencies of the Sonozaki clan, actually. And how she holds grudges, actually. You know what? That is a fair point, because she holds grudges, against the three families because they, in her mind, at least in Chapter 5, they got rid of Satoshi, right? And we're experiencing the same thing now with the Sonozaki clan holding a grudge against the Hojo family as well, because of their ties to the dam conflict, which is very interesting that both Mion and Shion represent the two sides to the Sonozaki family. Just realized that now. It's very cool. And that duality theme is very prevalent in this game. Hell, it's prevalent in the structure of the game with the question arcs and the answer arcs. With the question arcs, it makes us doubt everything we see. While with the answer arcs, we're getting the answers and seeing the truth about everything, about how it's not dark, and how it's more realistic than, everyone's against us and all that, which is very cool, that sense of duality. But yes, let's finally get in. No relations.
お待ちください。今変わりますね。お嬢さん、役所の自治係の人から電話が入ってますけど。ああ。もしも。
どうも園崎顧問、こんにちは。自治の間でございます。先日はおはぎをどうもごちそうさまでした。
いいねいいね。こちらこそ文化祭りの時は世話になったね。野立がさのけありがとよ。あれ一本いくらくらいすんかんね。
ったら毎年使うもんなんだから、自治で1本買っといてくらんとよ。
あれはですね、一応先生からの借り物になっておりまして、一応値段を調べたんですが、国産だと20万ぐらいするらしいんですよ。中国製によく似たものがありまして、こっちなら8万円ぐらいでなんとか買えそうでして。
別に中国製でもどこ製でも構わんや。お呼びする先生に失礼ならんとよ。よう選んどくれな。
一応ですね、今その8万の傘の方を取り寄せさせていただいております。届きましたら顧問にも一度見ていただきまして、それで判断ということではいかがでしょうか。
それからもう3年江戸千家が続いとるんね。先生がたまには他の先生もお呼びしないとバランスがようないっちゅうしゃ。表でも裏でもいいから他の先生をちょいと自治の方で来年までに探してもらってもいいんかんね。
ああ、はあ、そうですか。わかりました。ちょっとこちらでもお茶の先生を探してみます。それでですね、顧問。実は今日はちょっとご相談がございまして。
こっちのお母さんの話ばっかりですまんね。で、何の話なんしゃ。
実はですね、ひなみ沢にお住まいの北条聡子さんの件で顧問のお耳に入っておりますかどうかと思いましてお電話させていただいた次第なんですが。
Okay, so this is the conversation Oshi told us about last episode.
北条聡子はあ、バチあたり北条んとこの娘か。なんかしおりましたんかいね。
ええ、実はですね、最近おじさんと同居を始めたとかでですね、そのおじさんとトラブルを起こしているとか、そんな話は顧問のお耳には入っておりますでしょうか。
おじ聡子が私はそんな話は知らんがね。
いえいえいえいえいえ、ご存じなければ結構なんです。実はですね、そういった旨の陳情が生活相談所に入ったらしいです。相談所が言うにはだいぶ強い口調で来られていると、そういう話らしいんです。それでですね、相談所の係長からお涼さんのお耳に入っている話なら取り扱いを急いだ方がいいんじゃないかという話が参りまして。
私は何も知らんし全然わからん。なんでわしが北条のバチ当たり娘なんぞに骨を折らんしあかんがね。その崎家は全然知りませんし関係も何もありゃせんね。
では、連長の方からそういう話が出てるとか、そういう話はお耳には。
知らん知らん。何の話やねん。君吉んところが北条のバチ当たり娘なんぞに肩入れしとるんきゃ。すったらなんてその先に話が入らんねん。どういうこっちゃ。誰じゃねその相談所に陳情しとったっちゅうんは。
クラスメートが何人かいらっしゃったと、まあそういう感じなんですが。ではこれはクラスの子たちが独自にやったことで、連長も顧問もご存じない関係ない話という認識でもよろしゅうございますか。
そんに決まっとんしゃ。なん勝手な真似をしさらしとん。知らん知らん。村里子とは何の関係もなね。
The contents of this conversation were forwarded to the Child Constellation Center. If Oryu wasn't behind the commotion, then they had no need to take the case seriously. The manager told his staff to listen to what the petitioners have to say, but to never say anything promising the girl's safety. Get your Marabara-kun, huh? Guess a boy like that will grow up to be a political advocate in the future. Damn gorgeous. Sending the Black back. It'd been 3 days since he told her to stay home. He got another call from that annoying teacher again, so he yelled at her and hung up the phone. The woman is too persistent, Tepe thought. She won't give up that easily. He was sure that she called the Child Consolation Center again. The biggest reason why Tepe refused to let Satoko go to school was his fear that she'd seek help when going there. She pretended like nothing was wrong when the social worker from the Child Consolation Center showed up, but that was only because he was right beside her. She'd probably betray him as soon as she got her chance. And then the Consolation Center would show up immediately. No, maybe the police would come and get him for assaulting Satoko. One of his friends had told him that the Consolation Center works with the police sometimes. Tepe had a lot of weight on his shoulders. If the police came, they ended up questioning him about the other trouble he was involved in. He couldn't let that happen. All he needed was the money. Tepe could leave this awful village behind as soon as he found his brother's bank book. Tepe usually stayed at home, as he found the way the other villagers looked at him unpleasant. So when playing mahjong with his friends, he played it at Satoko's house. But mahjong requires at least 4 people. When Tepe couldn't get that many people to come over, he just stayed home alone and watched TV instead. He started using this sample free time to sniff around the house for his treasure. Satoko would end up cleaning the mess he made. Besides, it wasn't his home anyway. It didn't matter to him how much furniture he broke. He cleared out the closet and went up to the attic. He also pulled out all of these chests and searched them thoroughly. His wife had been a pretty clever woman. She must have hid it somewhere very unusual. He messed up the whole first floor and went up to the second floor to search some more. The next moment, Satoko went and tried to tackle him.
ニーニーの部屋はダメですの。
何ししゃらすんじゃ。
ダメですの。ニーニーの部屋はやめてくださいですの。
Tepe immediately assumed that she was hiding the bank book in there. He threw her off and forced his way inside the room. However, Satoko tried to stop him with all of her might. It was amusing for Tepe to see Satoko resisting him to that extent, but it also surprised him a little. He asked her why she didn't want him to go into Satoshi's room.
その部屋はニーニーの部屋ですのよ。ニーニーが帰ってきた時大変なことになってたらニーニーが悲しみますのよ。
なんじゃい。兄貴の部屋だからってそれだけでダメなんかい。サトシなんか生きとるかどうかもわからんわな。
ニーニーは生きてるんですのよ。きっと帰ってきますのよ。荒らさないで、荒らさないで。
何言うてんな。わしゃ荒らすんと違う。この部屋をな、ちょいとお掃除しようちゅうとんしゃな。いないやつのために部屋を残しとく義理なんかあらんね。だからちょいとお片付けをするだけなんね。
Jesus. Guess the hell? You really don't want me to go inside, huh? Satoko's crazed behavior convinced him that he should stop provoking her for the moment. While Tepe was very talented at threatening people, despair makes cowards courageous. If he ignored Satoko and tore apart the room, she might just run away. He didn't want Satoko to be nearby, but he also couldn't let her run loose.
わかったわかった。サトコがいい子にしてたらわしもこの部屋には入らん。な、それでええんね。
はい。はい。
But if you make me mad, I'm gonna rip this room apart. If you escape from this house or tell people about what's happening, everything in there's gonna end up in the garbage. Get it?
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
Teppei was sure the big book was inside Satoshi's room, but Sadako would lose it if he went inside. He wasn't pleased about the promise he made with her, but at least it would keep Sadako under control. It might not hurt him to send her off to school. If he kept her home again tomorrow, the teacher might come to her house with the police in tow. He was only keeping her at home because he was afraid that Satoko would talk to other people. If she wasn't going to do that, it'd be better for him to send her to school. He could sneak into Satoshi's room while she was out.
さとこ、お前がいい子にしたったんから、風ももうええ頃じゃんね。お前明日から学校行け。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
He was the one who told her to say thank you when he gives her approval to do something. But it annoyed him to hear her say it over and over.
あよ、いかんね。絶対やったが。もう、面白ない。
Fuck, man. Just fuck, man. God damn it. So, just fucked up. Before we continue on, I want to mention about Higurashi Origin, which is, I guess, a brand new thing or DLC for like Higurashi that's coming out on the 21st of June, which really says a lot about how big this like franchise is, you know. This came out back in 2000 wasn't, yeah, 2000, just 2000 through 2004 these like main arcs first came out, and there's still stuff being added to it, which, damn, that's kind of crazy how big of a franchise the When They Cry series is. That's not, I wouldn't say Higurashi and Yume Meko is unknown in the West, but it's not as like a household name as like other Eastern properties, which, I mean, with the way this game's going, I consider it a 10 out of 10 story. So I'm not surprised that it's still kind of going in a way. Just crazy to think about. In 2023, there's still new Higurashi stuff coming out. It's crazy. And also, I get to die knowing that this won't be the most definitive Let's Play. No matter how many arcs I play, there will always just be more and more that will come out. Alright, let's actually get into it. Child Constellation Center had finally contacted Satoko's uncle after finding out she was missing from school for 3 days in a row. I'm sure it was because of our efforts that Satoko was able to come to school today. However, we couldn't really celebrate after seeing her painful expression.
サトコ、本当に心配したんだぞ。
この3日間本当に何事もなかったんですか？
3日間熱が下がらなかったんですの。ご迷惑をおかけしましたわね。
She started telling us why she hadn't been at school. Nobody had even asked her that.
多分おじさんからそう答えるよう強く脅されてるんだと思う。あんな姿痛々しくてなんだか悔しいくらいだよ。
Luna seemed more angry than sad. Inside, I felt the same way. I felt like my anger was boiling up and lodging painfully in my throat. He was only letting Satoko come to school because he was not certain that she wouldn't do anything that would put him at a disadvantage. He was treating her like a tamed animal. Was it too late already? I thought of the broken Satoko I once saw in my imaginary world.
サトコ、お前はよく頑張ってるな。
当然ですわ。ニーニーがいなくても私は一人で頑張れますもの。
I slowly reached out my hand toward her head.
お前がよく耐えて頑張ってるご褒美に頭撫でてやる。嫌か？
She didn't reply, but she didn't refuse either. I slowly put my hand on her head. Also, I can't fucking look in this damn CG. Fuck. This one fucking CG is the one that's getting to me, god damn it. Ugh. She didn't react to it, but a tear rolled down from her eye all of a sudden. Was she crying because she didn't want to be touched? No, that wasn't it. Rather, it was the opposite. If I stopped patting her head, I'd hurt her feelings. Satoko felt obligated to survive without her Nini. But that didn't mean she didn't want anyone else's help. She couldn't appreciate my patting her head openly. Satoko had no choice but to cry in silence.
Satoko-chan.
God damn it, it's still getting to me. Fuck. God damn it. I thought I would be past this shit, but no, Oh, God, it's still hurting my fucking heart. Holy shit. Fuck.
今は泣いても誰にも言わないよ。
And after Rena said that, Satoko started crying like a baby. I felt relieved, knowing that it wasn't too late. She hadn't yet suffered from the fatal emotional wound that I saw in my imaginary world. However, her tears made it clear that I needed to save her as soon as possible, no matter what the whole world might say of me.
サトコ、きっとみんなが助け出してくれますのです。きっとなのですよ。
サトコ、私たちはこの3日間ね、ぼんやりしてたわけじゃないんだよ。ね、ケイちゃん。
おう、俺たちはな、児童相談所に訴えてるんだ。あのおじの野郎の非道とサトコを一刻も早く助け出してほしいってな。
そんなことしてくださらなくても結構ですのに。
俺たちだけじゃねえぞ。なあ、富田君。
僕だけじゃないです。岡村もクラスのみんなも戦っています。
そうだよ。僕たちクラス全員で相談所に押しかけてるんだ。もちろん今日も行くよ。ねえ、前原さん。
ああ、サトコを救い出せるまで俺たちはくじけないもんな。
All the boys and girls of the class answered my call with their cheers. Satoko seemed a little surprised, but then soon became expressionless again.
だから相談所の方が来ましたのね。余計なことをなさらなくてもいいのに。
サトコ、ひょっとして相談所の人が来たことによってあいつから何かいじめられたりしたんですか？
She wouldn't answer. I couldn't tell what that silence really meant. Soon after Chi-sensei entered the room, she must have heard the noise we were making.
王城さん、体の具合はもういいのですか？
I didn't know for sure if she was really sick or not. All of us, including Chi-sensei, were feeling the same thing.
ええ、おかげさまで。本当にご心配をおかけしましたわね。もう平気ですのよ。
これからはちゃんと学校に来られそうですか？
ええ。だから本当にもうご心配なさらなくていいんですのよ。相談所の人になんか言わなくていいんですのよ。
北条さん、もし本当に辛くなった時は先生のお家へいらっしゃい。先生は北条さんの味方ですからね。いつでもいらっしゃい。
そこで先生だけに美味しいとこを持ってかれちゃたまんないね。さとこ、ここにいる私たちは全員味方だよ。
そうです。さとこもぜひ私のマンションに遊びに来てください。余ってる部屋もありますから、さとこのプライベートルームにしちゃっても全然 OK ですので。
ダメです。さとこは僕の家で飼ってるのですから、早く僕のお家に帰ってこないとダメなのですよ。みぱー。
なあ、聡子は一人ぼっちなんかじゃない。みんながお前を助けようと今必死になっているんだ。
But I don't know if people at the Child Consolation Center will ever understand how we feel. If what Oshi-san told me yesterday was true, then once they learned this isn't the will of all of Himizawa, once they learn it's only her classmates creating the stir, they might harden their stance against us. All we had planned was to go there with more people and ask for the same thing. Child Constellation Center was going to say the same thing to us too. It wasn't going to be any different from yesterday. They tell us that it's only normal for her uncle to take care of Satoko because he's legally her guardian. They also tell us that there's no proof of any abuse happening. And why do they think that? Because Satoko won't admit she's being abused.
お気持ちだけで十分ですのよ。本当に大丈夫ですから。嘘だよ。
Luna spoke with a smile, but her words cut sharp.
さとこちゃんは大丈夫なんかじゃない。さとこちゃんはみんなを騙しきれてなんていないよ。ここにいる全員が、いや、もっともっと大勢がさとこちゃんが苦しみ悲しんでいることを知っているよ。だから私たちはさとこちゃんを助けるために立ち上がって精一杯頑張ってる。悲しい沼に胸まで浸かりもがいているさとこちゃんにみんなで手を差し伸べている。でもそれだけじゃさとこちゃんを救えないの。
そうなんだ、聡子。相談所側は俺たちの言い分に耳を貸しつつも、聡子本人が虐待を否定するから虐待はないの一点張りなんだ。俺たち全員が聡子を救いたいと思っても、聡子が受け入れてくれなければ救えないんだ。
私とても昔に逆の立場だったことがあるの。どうせ誰にも自分は救えないと、自分が今していることが最善手だと、そう思い込んでいるから仲間が差し伸べてくれる手を受け入れられないの。でもその時顔も思い出せないけど、ある人が言った。本当に選びたかった世界はすぐそこにある。でもそこへ至るには向こうのみんなとこちらの自分が互いに手を伸ばし合わないとダメなの。私たちだけが手を伸ばしても意味がない。だからさとこちゃん、あなたも手を伸ばして。それで互いに手をつかみ合って初めて私たちは元の世界へ戻れるんだから。レナ、それを誰に？覚えてない。きっと幼稚園よりも小さい頃なんじゃないかと思う。いつどこで誰になんて 覚えてない。でもその時の気持ちを私は今でもはっきりと思い出せるの。あの時の気持ちがあったから今日の私がある気がするの。
そうだな。レナに言ったそいつは間違ってないぜ。サトコは今助けを求めないのが強さだと思い込んでる。それが最善手だと勘違いしてる。いいか、違うんだ。自分の顔を鏡で見てみろ。それが望んだ世界を掴んだ顔か。違うだろ。サトコはこんな世界心のどこにも望んでなんかいない。俺たちはサトコを元の世界に連れ戻せる。そしてその手を伸ばしてる。その手はサトコの鼻先のところまで伸びてるんだぜ。だがあともうわずかが届かない。届いてりゃ髪の毛を踏んづかんででも引っ張り出してる。だがそのわずかが届かないんだ。だから掴め、お前が掴め。手を伸ばしても誰にも届かないから観念するなんて言わせねえぞ。お前の鼻先に俺の、いや俺たちの手があるんだよ。だから掴むんだ。手を伸ばすだけでいい。あとは俺たちが元の楽しかった世界へ引っ張り上げてやるから。
Satoko wouldn't reach out her hand. She just stared at mine as though praying for something. Her fingers were shaking. But Satoko wouldn't try to reach her hand towards mine. I felt like screaming out in anger, but I didn't want to scare her. If I did that, she'd never trust me again. All I could do was to wait for her to reach out her hand.
ありがとうですわ。本当にありがとうございますですわ。でも本当に平気ですのよ。本当に。さとこ。
もう少し時間がいるんだよ。
Satoko needed time to sort out her feelings. But her time limit was getting closer and closer. It was unfortunate that Satoko didn't even realize that herself. The next moment we heard someone approaching our classroom. By the sound of the footsteps we could tell it was the personal principal. And so, I couldn't tell why Satoko was twitching like she just got electrocuted. The door quickly opened and the principal strode us inside. He seemed to relieved to see Satoko back in school. However, Satoko reacted both dramatically and bizarrely. She let out an inexplicable scream, ran to the back of the classroom and hid behind the curtain. No one in the classroom could understand her actions. We never even considered that it was because the principal had entered the room. The principal, however, realized it immediately. Satoko was scared to see him. What?
北条君、大丈夫かね?
We spoke in a kind voice, but Satoko was still afraid. It was plain as day to all of us that Satoko was frightened at the sight of the principal, but none of us could understand why.
大丈夫か、サトコ。何も怖がることなんてないぞ。ここには味方しかいない。
おじさまが。
What? Everyone here thought for sure that Satoko's uncle had shown up to get her. We all rose up at once, shielded Satoko in a circle, and searched the surroundings. I had yet to see her uncle's face, but we were in school now. If someone unfamiliar showed up, I could spot him immediately. If you try to force Satoko to leave, then forget everything else. I'd end the fight right here. Me and Shion are thinking the same thing. However, while Sadako remained fine, we couldn't find any sight of her uncle. Sadako was trembling as if he was already here inside our classroom, but there was no sight of him. Finally, I realized the truth. Sadako was frightened by the figure of the principal. I could understand that she'd be scared of his footsteps, but she was still terrified after he showed us his face. This was not normal. It was made clear to me how much stress Sadako was dealing with. Rika-chan hushed Sadako and whispered into her ear.
大丈夫ですよ。おじはいませんです。意地悪なおじはいませんですよ。でもそこにおじさまが私を連れ戻しに来たんですわ。落ち着くのですよ、さとこ。今日のお注射はちゃんとしましたですか？おじさまが
Jeez.
注射って何の話だ、リカちゃん。
ケイチ、急いで入江を呼ぶのです。さとこが大変だと言えばわかりますです。早く。知恵、さとこを保健室に運びましょうです。どうしたの、さとこちゃん。
This must be like her disease with
さとこちゃん。
Hellas.
とにかく監督を呼ぼう。医者に見せるしかない。で、誰か監督のところの電話番号はわかるか？
私がわかるよ。職員室の電話を借りよう。
I headed to the nurse's office after I asked Mion to make a phone call to the doctor. There were lots of students surrounding the office. Chi-sensei was forcing out the other kids who had entered the room with them. I snuck behind her and entered it myself. Satoko was lying down on the bed, still shaking with fear. When and Rika-chan were there with her and were trying to calm her down. He spoke quietly so as not to scare Satoko.
サトコは大丈夫なのか？どうしたってんだ、一体。
よくわからないけど、校長先生の姿がおじさんに見えたみたいなの。
Hearing that made it easier to understand, but it was so hard to believe. He had been right in front of us and had spoken to her in such a kind voice. It was really hard to believe that she couldn't tell that it was the principal.
壁に黒い点が一つあったら、ケイチやレナはそれが何に見えますですか？ハエが嫌いな人ならきっとハエだろうと思いますです。雲が嫌いなら雲に、ゴキブリが嫌いならきっとゴキブリに見えますです。人は識別のつかない何かがあった時、無意識のうちに一番自分にとって嫌なものでないことを確認しようと強く意識するのです。さとこちゃんは近づいてくる校長先生の足音を聞き、とっさにおじさんを思い浮かべたということ？
でも校長が実際に姿を現してもまだ怯えていたぜ。
その誤解がすぐに解けなくなるのがさとこの病気なのです。
Really? What does he mean, illness? I tried to ask Rika-chan that, but Sadako was becoming even more frightened. Rika-chan held her hand gently and tried to calm her down. When it tapped my shoulder, she was indicating to me that we should leave Rika-chan and Sadako alone in the room. I agreed with her. Sadako was in a tremendous shock.
じゃあ俺たちは教室へ戻ってるよ。
お願いしますです。
Lynn and I left the nurse's office. My classmates were still asking Chi-sensei about Satoko's condition. As soon as they saw me, they walked over and asked how she was.
みんな、とりあえずはリカちゃんに任せよう。サトコは今、とても怯えやすくなってるんだ。だから、怖がらせないようにしてやってくれ。多分、ここで騒いでいるのも、サトコには怖く感じるんだと思う。
教室へ戻ろう。きっとすぐに監督が来て様子を見てくれるよ。みーちゃん、連絡は取れたんだよね。
うん。大至急来てくれるって。それまではリカちゃんに任せて安静に。絶対に保健室から出さないようにだってさ。
はい皆さん、教室に戻りなさい。朝のホームルームを始めますよ。
While the teacher took our attendance, a car arrived in the school premises. Everyone's attention was drawn to it. 3 people with white gowns came out of the vehicle. Ire went into the school in a hurry. We were surprised to see 3 people show up. Made us all worry that Satoko's in worse shape than we'd realized. Chi-sensei felt the same way. She left the class and Mion and hurried to the nurse's office. Despite our worries, Satoko returned to the classroom about 10 minutes later. She was still as depressed as she was in the morning, but she was no longer in a state of panic.
サトコ、もう起きて大丈夫なんですか？もう少し休んでてもいいと思います。
ご心配をおかけしましたわね。もう平気ですのよ。さとこちゃん。
Satoko seemed bothered by the way we were worrying about her. Chi-sensei also returned to the classroom at the same time. I snuck out so I could talk to Ire and his staff. I saw him talking with Rika-chan.
監督、サトコは本当に大丈夫なんですか？
前原さん。ええ、とりあえずは大丈夫です。しばらく様子を見てあげてください。
ちょっとした発作なのです。もう大丈夫なのですよ。
発作ってそういうもんなのか？そういえばさっきも保健室でサトコのことを病気だみたいなことを言ってたけど。
では私はこれで失礼します。何かあったらまた呼んでください。
Coach bowed and left without making any comment. It was like he was avoiding my question about Satoko's condition.
圭一、誰にも内緒と約束できますですか？
ああ。
さとこは数年前からちょっとした病気なのです。
A few years ago.
ずっとその治療を受け続けていますです。
Okay, so she wasn't born with it. She gained it. Okay. It was surprising to hear that. That meant she was already sick when I first met her. I'd never seen any sight of that, though.
その病気は簡単には治りませんが、ちゃんとお薬と治療を受けることで普通に生活することができるのです。
そうなのか？でもだったら問題ないじゃないか。リカちゃんに打ち明けられるまでサトコが病気にかかってるなんて考えもしなかったもんな。あれだけ元気に過ごせるならそれで十分だよ。
She was hardly in a good condition, so that makes me hesitant to use the word fine. What kind of disease could Satoko have? based on what I saw earlier, she might have a mental illness rather than a physical one. That's what I think as well. It might be because of how she was abused in the past. For that mental trauma is not easy to cure and it needs medical attention at times. Well, yes, this is way worse than just mental trauma. That must be what's going on with her.
サトコは実は毎日2回のお注射をしなくてはいけない体なのです。ですが朝からいろいろとおじに意地悪をされていたせいで今朝のお注射を忘れてしまったようなのです。
それはつまり注射を1本忘れるとサトコはあんなに怯えてしまう状態になるということなのか。
Mika-chan nodded quietly. Oh, it was quite a shock. The Satoko I know is an energetic and mischievous girl who was always bouncing around like a super ball. I couldn't believe that she turned into a scared little animal just by forgetting to take a shot.
注射を忘れるとサトコはとても怖がりになってしまうのです。すると何かが起こったり聞こえたり現れたりするだけでそれらがサトコに危害を加えようとしているように感じてしまうのです。
つまりさっきの場合は校長の足音を聞いておじが学校に乗り込んできたように感じたというわけだな。
そうです。サトコの場合はその足音をおじだと思い込んだらそうなってしまうのです。校長が顔を見せて優しく語りかけたとしてもサトコの中ではその人物はもうおじになってしまったので何を言おうとおじが言っているように聞こえてしまうのです。
Okay. This might answer the biggest mystery, or one of the big things in chapter 3. After we murdered Tepe, we went back, and yet Sadako still claimed that her uncle was still alive, right? What if someone else... I mean, this is the only realistic explanation I can think of. What if someone else came to her house and she assumed that it was her uncle and that, well, she hadn't been taking her shot, so she assumed that whoever it was that came into her house was her uncle, right? But that doesn't answer the question of why she was put into the boiling hot bathtub, right? That doesn't explain that unless that same person told her to do that. In which case, who the hell was this person that came into her house and told her to do that? I mean, that's the only plausible solution I can think to that mystery from chapter 3 for, well, right now, but it's the only thing that makes sense to me.
さっきリカちゃんはその誤解が解きにくくなる病気だと言ったな。嫌なことと思い込んでしまったら誤解が解けない病気か。なんて病名か聞きたくもないな。気の毒だぜ。それにそんな病気と戦いながら今日まで頑張ってきたんだな、あいつ。
でもケイチ、どうかこの病気のことはサトコには言わないであげてほしいのです。
Why not? Guess I shouldn't ask. It might not be a nice thing to talk to her about her mental illness. I guess that's what she's trying to tell me.
サトコはさっき教室に戻ってきたが、もう平気なのか？
とりあえず入江がサトコのお注射を持ってきてくれましたので、もう大丈夫です。
She's seriously sick to the point where she requires the doctor's attention. I realized something in the next moment.
な、サトコが急病で倒れたってことにして入院させちゃうのっていい手だったとは思わないか？
Can force her to stay in the hospital even if she refuses. That way we can save her from her uncle. Yes, that's a great idea.
もちろんそれは入江が提案しました。ですが聡子が断ったのです。
聡子が断るとか断らないとかの問題じゃないだろう。
圭一、聡子が家に帰らないとニーニーの部屋を片付けられてしまうのだそうです。
何？
聡子にとって北条の家はサトシが帰ってくるまで守らなければならない場所なのです。
He was taking advantage of her? Teppei was telling her that he'd get rid of Satoshi's room if she didn't stay with him?
汚ねえ野郎だ。
圭一、他のみんなには言わないでください。C は感情を抑えるのがうまくないので、知ったら短気を起こしかねませんです。
She brought up Shion, but I was also furious about it. I had to calm down, though. I needed everyone's help in order to save Satoko. I couldn't ruin everything by acting foolishly. I had no time to stop.
くそ！聡子が助けてと一言でも言ってくれりゃどうとでもなるのに。
Just because she hadn't asked didn't mean she didn't need it. As her friends, we had to help her. Especially after learning that he was controlling her by threatening to get rid of Satoshi's room.
いや、そのサトシの部屋を片付けられてしまうってのを話したのこそ聡子の明白な SOS じゃないのか。助けてと直接言えない聡子が遠回しに明日明白な助けだ。
Rika-chan nodded slightly.
圭一、聡子を助けるために残された時間はもう長くはないのです。
That I was all too aware of. She had a panic attack just because she didn't take her shot this morning. But if she stayed in her current environment, it'd be too late to save her in a matter of days. I saw her future when I saw Satoko crying behind the curtains this morning.
今日で3日目だ。人数はすでに初日の10倍以上に膨れたが、まだまだ行くぜ。
圭一、聡子を救うのは簡単なことではないのです。これまでに何度も試してきて一度たりとも成功したことはないのです。
そうなのか。
圭一は覚えていない話です。でも今回の圭一は違う。今までに一度も見たことのない方法であと一歩で聡子を救えるところまでこぎつけていると思いますです。僕は圭一が運命なんてあっさりと破ってしまえる力のある人間だと信じています。
What did she mean when she said I didn't remember? I didn't have time to ask questions, though.
ああ、そうだな。運命なんて俺があっさり打ち破ってやるぜ。
A huge crowd had formed in front of the library. It was hard to believe that over 50 people had assembled in front of such a crowded place.
今日は面白くなってきたぜ。今日のリーダーの前原さんだ。挨拶しろ。
Kamita-kun had brought a bunch of athletes with him. They were all very tall and full of spirit. Being greeted by a bunch of big people at once made me feel uncomfortable. Whoops, shouldn't feel so intimidated. Commander can't act bashful in front of his troops. Following after them were our nameless comrades who sympathized with our plight at Angel Mord yesterday. I hate to say it, but I never expected any of them to actually show up. Seeing them all here to support us made me feel glad. They seemed pretty pumped up too, raising their furious cries. Shrieks. Kamita-kun did so much for me. He brought not only his teammates, but also people from Major Mort. Couldn't thank him enough.
水臭いぜ、ケイ。俺たちはエンジェルモートの義兄弟っすよ。 デザフェに行った連中の噂だと、夏の新デザート恥じらいの青い果実サンデーが最高にいいらしいっす。この夏は一緒に青い果実をむさぼり食いに行きましょ
う。ケイチ君、今日はすごいね。これを全部君が一人で集めたのかい？
こんにちは。ここまでとは思わなかったわ。やるわね。
富武さん、高野さん、どうしてここに？
あ、レナは知らなかったか。昨べの祭りの実行委員会の席でね、今日への参加を表明してくれたんだよ。確か監督も来るはず。
お待たせしました。遅れて申し訳ございません。留守番のスタッフへの引き継ぎに手間取りまして。
わあ、監督、それすごいすごい。
Coach had bought some sashes, headbands, and banners with them. Nice. He was so well prepared. Sashes and headbands would save Satoko Hojo, and the Conservation Center must take action immediately. They were perfect for a protest. He had bought lots of extras along too. Takano-san and Shion handed them out to other supporters.
なんていうのか、監督のこういうセンスが私大嫌いなんですけど、でも今日はちょっと見直してます。
しかしこういうアイテムもいいね。ここにいる60人は全員に面識があるわけじゃない。でも同じ鉢巻きやタスキを身につけることで同じ目的を持った仲間だと分かり、連帯感も育めるからね。
こんなのを身につけるとダム戦争の時代に戻った気がするよ。鉢巻きやタスキをしたひなみ沢の人たちは無敵だったんだ。誰が相手でもひるまなかった。
Tomiki-san was exactly right. Even the kids from Okayama were willing to wear the headbands. It was like we were supporting a baseball team.
さあ、リカさんもぜひ。これだけの数を作るのは苦労したんですよ。
いりえ。
私も自分ができることを惜しみませんよ。さとこちゃんを助け出すために全力を尽くしましょう。
はい、ケイチ君の。すごいね。昨日は社会科見学様ご一行だったのに、今日はまるで雰囲気が違う。
そうだな。俺は人数が多ければ相手はビビるだろうくらいに思ってたが、これは迫力が違う。
Gotta get those signs up, baby.
やはりハったりって大事なんだなって思うぜ。
さあ、そろそろ時間よ。団長、決起の挨拶をお願いね。
団長なんてそんな恥ずかしい。俺なんて単なる発起人で。
ケイチ君、リーダーがそんなじゃ貫禄がないよ。
Come on, Keiji, you're a main character. Act like it, damn it.
さあ、胸を張って。
I walked out in front of everyone while Tomiki-san took pictures. Everyone went quiet and turned their gaze to me. I felt so nervous, but at the same time I also felt really thrilled to see all of our comrades here.
みんな、今日は集まってくれてありがとう。すでに聞いてると思うが、俺たちのクラスメート北条聡子のためにこれより3日目の陳情を決行する。かつて気の向くままに聡子をほったらかしにして沖宮に1年間も蒸発していた叔父がどうして親権者なんて名乗れるのか。児童相談所は直ちに状況を理解し、聡子に対する緊急保護を実施するべきである。だが児童相談所側は慎重な対応を理由に現状を放置。聡子が日々の窒息しそうな環境の中で心をすりつぶされていっている急を理解していない。俺たちはこれより3日目の陳情を決行し、児童相談所に改めて緊急の対応を求めるものである。
今日学校で さとこちゃんの姿を見た人ならわかるはず。あの快活だったさとこちゃんがたったの4日であんなにもやつれ果ててしまって、あんな姿をこれ以上放っておくなんて絶対にできない。
これですでに3日連続。しかも人数はここまで膨れ上がった。相談所側に私たちの強い意志を訴えよう。私たちは仲間を見捨てたりしない。
すごいね。こいつは間違いなくダム戦争の再来だよ。
ダム戦争を知らないはずの前原君がダム戦争を再びなんて面白いものね。やはりこの地には人を結束させたくなる何かがあるということなのかしら。
やっぱり田舎的な人懐っこい風土によるものだと思います。だから今日のこれは怒るべくして起こったんです。
僕たちは隣人の顔も覚えてない都会に住んでるけど、それと比べるとなんだか羨ましいね。
I mean, hey, that's what you get with the small towns, you know. Way more, less people, more sense of community. And unity, damn it.
電車の本数が少ないと愚痴ってた人がよく言いますですよ。
人軍突撃準備完了。ハッカーはただここで死ねと飲み込めえよ。
要求貫徹、絶対救出。みんな K に続け。
の
Everyone had that much vigor before we even entered the building. They had to have heard what was going on outside. In fact, panicked-looking people were staring at us out the windows.
さあ、参りましょう。
Yuri pushed me forward, and I took the first step of our third attempt with the weight of 60 people on my shoulders. We went through the automatic doors and slowly crossed 20 meters to the counter.
これでならどうだ。一昨日は相談員、昨日は係長。なら今日は所長か。
わからない。でもきっと私たちの強い意志は伝わるはずだよ。
こんにちは。今日はどのようなご用件でしょうか。
昨日と同じです。北条聡子の件について陳情に参りました。
At the far end of the office, I saw the manager from yesterday talking to a guy sitting behind an important-looking desk. I could tell he was intimidated to see so many people. Shion said this was the day we'd finally close the deal, but I couldn't be that optimistic yet. To be honest, our current numbers were probably the maximum number of people that I could get. So what would we do if things didn't work out today? I put up a brave front, but internally I was nearly cracking with the anxiety. But looking at the hopeful, encouraging expression on Wenna's face as she walked beside me helped me disperse those timid feelings. Wenna might hold the very same worries inside of her heart. Everyone must be wondering if we can really save Satoko or not. But today we were supporting each other by hiding these worries. That was unmistakably our team's strong point. We could never have gathered so much energy and strength if we were alone. That power can only be created with people work together. It takes forever for a drop of water to wear away at one walk, but a tsunami can break it into pieces in a second. The manager approached the counter. He started speaking to me, saying that the meeting room wasn't open today. He couldn't let us all in to one room. However, the head of the office was willing to see us so we could use the reception area in front of his desk. Since the room is so small, however, he asked us to choose 3 representatives to come inside.
本当に申し訳ございません。他のお客様へのご配慮ということでご理解をご協力をいただけると助かるのですが。
We were here with all these people and they were only 3 of us inside. I wanted to refuse their offer, but Mion told me to take it.
この人数で占拠すれば 業務への支障を理由に上げ足を取られかねないしね。すでに十分インパクトを与えてる。向こうも施設長が直接話を聞くと言ってるし、これは向こうの最高の対応でもあるよ。
みんなガクガクブルブルでニャーニャーしてますですよ。
にゃーにゃーでも会議室が空いてないってのは嘘くさいですけどね。
私も嘘だと思うな。でもみーちゃんの言う通り、これだけの人数で押しかけたというインパクトは十分与えたと思う。
所長さんはここの最高責任者です。それが話を聞くという例を尽くした以上、こちらにも多少の譲歩が必要かもしれませんね。
話し合いの場を設けたのに先方が席に着かなかった。そういう記録だけ残ると話し合いの余地なしってことにされてしまうわね。
部外者の意見で恐縮だけど、ここは話し合いに来ているということをアピールするべきだと思うな。
It was good to get suggestions from so many different people. If it was only me, I would have just gotten pissed off and left. That was probably not the best idea. Once again, I felt how important it was that we were a team.
わかりました。では代表3人ということにします。で、代表は誰にしよう？
代表は圭一くんでいいと思うな。あと大人として監督とみーちゃんもついててくれれば文句なしかな。
所長が私の顔を知ってたら園崎家の圧力ってことになっちゃう。今回の件は園崎家はノータッチなんで、そこを誤解させられない。大人の事情でごめん。聡子を助けるのは私たちの戦いで、鬼ババとは何の関係もありませんからね。ならレナさんはどうです？ガツンと一発叩き込んでやってくださいよ。
私でもいいけど、リカちゃんはどう？聡子ちゃんの一番のお友達として代表に加わってもいいんじゃないかな。
Rika-chan is a quiet girl, so it would be hard for them to understand what she's thinking. However, she's Sadako's best friend. She had been living with her for the past year as if they were family. She has the strongest bond with Satoko out of any of us.
よし、俺と監督、そしてリカちゃんで行こ
う。了解。私はみんなをまとめるよ。
Mian winked at me and started explaining the situation to everyone else. Alright, let's finally talk to the head of CPS, or at least this office. I never thought I'd be chosen as one of the representatives. I'm not a very good speaker. I'm not a very good speaker, so Lily, Ren, or Shion should have been picked instead of me. I just couldn't refuse when they told me that Sadako's best friend should be the one to go. They told us to sit on the couch inside the visitor's room. The counselor, the manager, and the head of the office were there. The way they treated us was improving every time we came. I didn't know if today's appeal would change anything, but I was starting to feel the direction of fate shift little by little.
どうですか、リカ？
わずか数日でとんでもない展開になってる。さすがの私にももうどうなるやら見当もつかないわ。
Hanyu appeared beside me. It had been a while since she showed up. Hanyu was assuming that we still wouldn't be able to save Sadako in this world either. She always thought it was best to just watch what happened, without hoping for a positive change. I've been hurt so many times after being betrayed while hoping for a change. Surely that wasn't good for my soul. I've been beaten down over and over again. It's better to be quiet and do nothing. It's better not to expect change. That way, if something bad happens, I won't feel pain. My fate was already a dead end. But was that really true? I did my best in many of my past lives. However, I had always acted alone. A miracle only happens when everyone combines their efforts. I was starting to feel the depth of what that meant. But even so, that didn't guarantee that we could save Satoko. This was the best chance I'd had so far, certainly, but that still didn't prove anything. I couldn't call it a miracle just yet. A miracle is something far more dramatic. So this wasn't a miracle. It wasn't a miracle just yet. There was still someone else who needed to reach out for this to become a miracle. Everyone had been working so hard. They truly believe they can bring about a miracle. Who amongst them doesn't believe? Isn't there someone who's not reaching out her hand like everyone else is doing?
冷たく言えば、奇跡を起こせない日は聡子にある。そもそもさっきから圭一や入江が向こうとやり合っている最大の争点は、聡子が虐待を認めたかどうか。
そうなのですが、それは簡単ではないのです。
聡子を救おうとみんなが手を伸ばしているのに、聡子がその手を掴もうとせず、沼にどんどん沈んでいく。そうやって考えると、一番訴えるべきは聡子じゃないかって思う。
聡子に手を伸ばすよう説得するのですか？
うん。それはとても簡単なことではないけれど、サイコロの目が再び六揃いになる奇跡を待つ苦労に比べたら大した苦労じゃない。
In any case, I'm the only one with the key to open her heart. I'm like family to Satoko. I know she thinks the same. I'm not trying to brag or anything. Satoko's like family to me as well. No, my feelings toward her are even deeper than that. It might be the only 1 year for Satoko, but I've spent decades with her.
そしてさらに考えれば奇跡が起こらないのは至極当然だった。
どうしてなのですか？
奇跡を起こすにはみんなの力を合わせなければならない。みんなが合わせてないんだもの。一人足りなかった。奇跡が起こらないのは当然。
聡子ですか？
違うわ。私よ、私。
I had just been observing them like a spectator. I had been tired of this eternally repeating world and acted like a witch. I had forgotten the powerful feelings needed to change fate. In other words, it was like I was supposed to be an actress, but was just sitting back and eating popcorn. I'm not a spectator. I'm one of the people on the stage. And that's why this play was never successful. In the world where Rena took over the school, if I hadn't done anything, Kechi would have died in an explosion. Because I got on the stage like I was supposed to, the play didn't end that way. I'm part of this world too. It's such an obvious thing, but I must have forgotten it a long time ago.
私が聡子の心を解かなくてはならない。サトシの呪縛から聡子を解き放たなくてはならない。もちろん私以外にもそれはできるだろうけれど、きっと 私が一番できる立場にいる。いや、そうでなかったとしても、私もまた舞台に上がらなくては奇跡は起きないってこと。
リカ、あなたは何度もそのような決意をして、それを打ち砕かれて悲しんできましたです。それでもなおなのですか？
分かってる。二度とない幸運と二度とない結束。私が次の世界でも頑張ろうと安っぽい決意をしたところで、私の努力とは無関係なところで袋小路は決まるだろう。この世界よりももっともっとあっさりと、どうしようもない形で。だからこの世界でもダメだったら、私は諦めようと思う。
Hanyu looked at me with surprise. For us, the term giving up means a lot more than what it sounds like. It doesn't only mean that I will accept my fate. It means that I will accept the dead end waiting for me. In other words, accept my death.
なんていうか、未練って努力してないから感じるものなんだって、私分かったの。
Ain't that the truth?
今回これだけの幸運に恵まれ、まあ確かに叔父の帰宅は例外だけど、それにしたって二度とあるかどうかもわからない追い風に恵まれた。そしてその追い風の中で、私は多分できる最大限の方を張ったと思う。だから今度こそって思うし、逆にこれでダメならもう絶対にダメだと思う。その時は私、本当の本当に諦めがつくと思うから。
そんなのダメなのですよ。
I'm the only person who can communicate with Hanyu. If I disappear, she will have to go on with her life all alone. That's the last thing Hanyu wants to happen. Perhaps that's why Hanyu says the thing she does. She doesn't want my lifespan to wither away by getting hurt emotionally.
でも私はもともとこの舞台の出演者だった。あなたに舞台を見るという楽しみ方を教えてはもらったけど、出番を降りたら舞台が成立しない。きっとだから私は袋小路を出られないんじゃないかなって思うの。
ティカ、きっとどこかの世界で今回と同じような幸運に恵まれ、しかも叔父の帰ってこない世界がありますです。それは奇跡ではなく、今回よりももう一つ余計に6が出るだけのことなのです。
今回と同じような追い風で叔父も帰ってこない世界か。そうね。そうだったらどんなに素晴らしいことか。
Still, trying to beat my fated death is another issue entirely. That sounds wonderful, but still not guaranteed.
その世界まで頑張って僕と待ちましょうなのです。だからこの世界が終わったら諦めるなんて言わないでほしいのです。
私が死んだらあんたがあうあう言っても聞いてくれる人もいなくなるしね。たまに気配か足音を誰かに気のせい程度に感じさせるのがせいぜいだろうし。 じゃ私は舞台に戻るわ。自分にできる精一杯を尽くす。あんただって永遠に繰り返す昭和の夏なんて嫌でしょ。
誰ともお話ができずに過ごす長い時間の方がもっと嫌なのです。
Jeez. Apparently she thinks this time loop that's driving me mad is far better than having no one to talk to. But that's just how she feels.
僕もこの運命を乗り越えてまだ見たことのない昭和58年やその先の時間へ行きたいです。でもそれはリカと一緒でなくてはダメなのです。
I'm sure that's similar to my own claim that there's no point in living past June 1983 if I'm the only one who does. My ideal future is to survive past June 1983, and let the happy times continue like always without anyone missing. Hani feels the same way. She doesn't want a world where I'm not by her side. We're repeating this world only because we wish to do so. It wasn't just Hanya's power, it was one that we shared together. Hanya wants to be with me, just like I want to build myself a happy future. We both want the same thing. But if I refuse to repeat the world again, my long life would be over. Yet I never refused, no matter how sick and tired of it I was. For over 100 years, I kept believing something good would happen eventually. However, our power was weakening, and we can only go back a few weeks at most. We have so little time left to try and change our fate. If we kept it up, eventually we'd only be able to go back to the morning of the day I was going to die. That'd be a dead end for sure. I don't think a life this fortunate will ever come my way again. If my time was unlimited, I'm sure that will eventually happen. But I can't count on it happening in what time I do have left. Hanyu told me to wait for another chance because she doesn't want to see me lose myself, but she isn't feeling the time limit like I am.
死んでも目が覚めても同じ朝なんて考えたくもない悪夢よね。そんな地獄に落ちる前に自分の世界は自分の手で幕を下ろしたいの。だからそれをこの世界に決めたわ。この世界でダメだったら私はこれで繰り返しをやめることにする。
What is a worse fate, huh? To be trapped in a time loop for hundreds of years, no, centuries, with everything you're trying to do not amounting to anything, and as soon as you die, you repeat the same month again, or complete isolation. Which is a worse fate? Because that's what these two are facing. Rika is facing the hell of repeating this world over and over and over again, with her changes amounting to nothing, pretty much, because she always dies. And after that, after she gives up, Hanyu faces the hell of being alone. Being alone for eternity, from what we can tell. Which is a worse fate? It's a hard question. But that's what these two are facing, pretty much. Let me translate what she's trying to say. This world is no different from any other world. You're not going to win, so don't bet on this life. Your lifespan is not as short as you think. You should wait for your next opportunity, and this end was June. Stay with me until then. Stay with me and wait for the next chance.
てなところでしょ。ならせいぜい私たちのために祈ってちょうだい。相談所を解き伏せ、聡子を救い出せること。そして私が昭和58年6月の運命に打ち勝てること。昭和58年の夏を迎えられたら、ずいぶん昔に約束した通り、いろいろなことをして遊ぼう。昭和58年のスイカを食べて窓際で涼もう。今年の秋はどんな秋？今年の冬はどのくらいの雪が？私たちの知らない天気や出来事を楽しもう。知らないテレビ番組や永遠に放送予定のまま見ることのできなかったアニメを見よう。そして私がどんな人生を歩むのか、共に成長の物語を楽しもう。
それまで一緒に頑張ろうって約束しましたです。なのにこの世界でダメだったら諦めるなんて、そんなのは約束違反なのです。
その約束だけは守れなくてごめん。きっと仲間みんなと一緒に昭和58年の夏を迎える。そこにはもちろん羽生もいるの。そしてきっと青くて広いに違いない夏の大空を見上げよう。きっとね、昭和58年の大空はこれまでの空とは比べ物にならないくらいに美しいに違いないから。
I'm sure I'm going to make a miracle happen in this world. God didn't design humans so they could redo their lives over and over again like me. People usually only have one chance, yet they can still make miracles happen with effort. They work so hard because they know they would never have a chance to do it over again. That's why miracles occur. But if I can't make one happen with all of that, I just have to give up.
次の世界なんていらない。この世界で奇跡を起こす。みんなが教えてくれた。奇跡はみんなでなら起こせると教えてくれた。だから起きる。起こす。この世界で私たちは最高の未来を迎えてみせる。
リカ。
Hanyu disappeared, sobbing sadly. She was no longer in my sight, but I could still talk to her.
羽生、きっと私たちはこの世界で最高の未来をつかめるから。だから信じて。あなたも力を合わせてくれたなら、奇跡はもっと起きやすいかもしれないんだから。
This is the possible stage I can hope for. The actors on the stage and the audience before can help each other. If you wish, you the audience can change the story too. I've made my decision. I'm going up on the stage. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'll do my best just like Ketchy and my other friends. I'm not going to make any more excuses. I'm not going to wait for another fortunate world. I have to do my best in this one. I'm not talking about my decision to die after this world is over. I'm just saying that people are meant to have only one chance to live. That's why they work so hard. Because I had so many chances to redo my life, I haven't been working hard enough. I was never able to make a miracle happen. In my previous life, Rana took over the school. because I got in her way, Kechi made it in time to stop the explosion. The story changed because I decided to get up on the stage. Perhaps in my other lives before that, I could have changed my situation if I worked hard enough without giving up. But I kept giving up so easily and eventually lost my interest in those worlds. And so a miracle never happened. A miracle never happened because I was always relying on the fact that I'd have another chance. Hanya, I hope you can understand. Please, don't be sad and work hard with me in this world. I couldn't tell if she understood me. I certainly spoke to the officials about how much danger Satoko was in. Kechi and Ire also made their appeals from the bottom of their hearts. I had no idea how the Child Consolation Center took what we said so passionately. All I could do was play.
うーん、昨日の繰り返しになっちゃった感じだったな。両者とも昨日と同じ話の繰り返しだ。
相変わらず平行線？慎重に様子を見るからとかそういう話に？
そんなところです。週一の訪問で様子を見て、だいたい1ヶ月後に改めて判断をするというような話なのですが。
うちのところに貞子を1ヶ月も閉じ込めろって言うんですか？その1ヶ月間で貞子の心がどれだけ傷つけられるか、どうしてその痛みが理解できないんです？
Jeez.
もちろんその点についても前原さんは懸命に説明してくれました。私も聡子ちゃんの去年の状況を説明したつもりです。ですが、
聡子ちゃんが助けを求めない限り緊急性はない。
部外者の意見で恐縮だけど、聡子ちゃんに助けを求めてもらうってのは無理なのかい？
聡子ちゃんが逃げ出したらサトシ君の部屋のものを捨ててしまうと脅されてるらしいわ。ひどい話ね。
相変わらず向こうはその一点張りなの？聡子は助けを求められない負い目があるってのに。
Purpose of a child consolation center is to protect children. I was starting to get angry the more I thought about it. But as I thought about it some more, I realized they were just trying to do their job. It was just that our opinions differed about the degree of urgency.
こっちは聡子ちゃんを早く助けてほしいという。向こうは聡子ちゃんが助けを求めたらねという。なんとか歩み寄る方法はないのかな。聡子ちゃんへの助けがないまでにもその SOS のサインを読み取る何らかの歩み寄りはないのかな。
その辺はこちらもいろいろと訴えました。向こうもそれを真剣に聞いてはくださりましたが、
最終的な雰囲気だと参考に留められた感じでしたね。
Damn it. When the head of the office showed up, I thought I could change things today, but everything went the same as yesterday and we still weren't able to persuade them. However, I'm sure we're making progress. It might seem like they're withstanding our blows at first glance, but they're feeling the weight behind them. We're not going to give up just because it didn't work out today. We're going to fight until they get off their butts and save Satoko.
さっきみんなには明日もやるよって声はかけた。ただ今日よりは人数が減るかもしれないね。
なんだか悔しいですね。せっかくここまで来たのに、ここが私たちの限界ってわけなんですか？
Damn it. We can't give up yet. We might have less people tomorrow, but we're not going to call off our fourth appeal.
たとえ誰も来なくなってもレナは行くよ。さとこちゃんを助ける判断を下してくれるまでレナは一人でもくじけない。
それは俺もだ。俺も絶対にくじけない。ありがとな、ミオン。来られる人だけでも構わないぜ。窓から見てたけど、みんなの横断幕結構プレッシャーになってるようだったぜ。
ゆうべ夜鍋して作った甲斐がありました。
いりえ、たすきなんかもありがとうなのです。
いえいえ、これくらいの協力しかできないのが悔しいです。
僕ももっと協力しようと思いますです。僕は聡子を救えないと思って諦めてきましたが、今日圭一と入江が所長とやり合うのを見ていて、僕にはまだまだ頑張れることがあると思いましたです。
Rika-chan was always watching us from afar. It made me a little happy to see Rika-chan getting more active in the whole movement. I wonder what Rika-chan can do.
聡子に会えたら助けを求めるように説得するつもりなのです。それは多分僕にしかできないことなのです。
Same thing was on all our minds. The issue will be resolved the moment Satoko seeks help. And nobody can say that to her because we all know that she's dealing with the memories of her brother. Satoko, I know how you feel about Satoshi, but this is different. Please ask the Child Conservation Center to help you. So long as you're seeking help, they're ready to save you any time. Don't be afraid that your uncle is going to destroy Satoshi's room. Please ask for them to save you. Without even knowing Satoshi's face, I could never say that to her. The only person who can ask her to seek help is Rika-chan. She's been living with her for the past year and she's like family.
そうだね。私も今日それを言ったけれど、心には届かなかった。悲しいけれど、聡子ちゃんの心に言葉を届かせられるのは、リカちゃんを置いて他にはいないと思う。
自分にその力がないのが悲しいですけど、同感です。リカちゃまは無二の親友。あんたにできなかったらもうどうにもならないです。
聡子ちゃんの心を解きほぐせたら、それで全てが解決するとすら断言できるでしょう。案外私たちがこうして押しかけるよりもいい方法かもしれません。
そんなことはありません。レナが言った通りです。双方が手を伸ばさないと届かない。だから聡子も手を伸ばすべきだと思っただけです。そしてそれは僕も同じなのです。みんなが力を合わせないと奇跡は起こせない。僕だけが諦めていて力を合わせなかった。だから奇跡が起こせなかった。だから僕も力を合わせる。だから
Whoa.
言いたいことがうまく説明できないです。ごめんなさいです。
Rika-chan is usually a quiet girl, but she talks a lot every once in a while. Just because she's quiet doesn't mean that she's not thinking about anything. In fact, because she's quiet, she must have a lot inside her heart that she's never expressed. We are going to continue our appeal to the Consolation Center. Rika-chan is going to persuade Satoko. This is the best approach, or at least the best one I can think of. It might be slow and quiet, but now that I'm in the game, I can't quit until I win. If I gave up, I'd lose everything that I bet on. We're going to save Satoko. We just have to work together. But obviously, we don't have much time left to fight. What to do? We're definitely going to have less people tomorrow. In other words, we can't intimidate the Child Conservation Center any more than we did today. Couldn't see any way to break our deadlock with the Conservation Center, so I had no choice but to swallow down the irritation starting to boil up in my chest and pretend not to don't notice it.
もうだいぶ暗くなってきました。ミオンさん、解散の号令をかけられた方がいいでしょう。私も今夜はまた実行委員会なので、このまま直接集会所に行った方が良さそうです。
それを言ったら私もじゃん。いけないいけない。
That meant I had to go too. Well, it wouldn't be a big deal if I missed the meeting. I should still go. I don't understand most of the things they're even talking about there, but I don't want to be rude. I'd have no choice but to go.
ならもう今日はこれで終わりにした方がいいね。相当急いで帰らないと時間ギリギリになっちゃうよ。
Mion thanked all of the people who came today and told them to meet at the same place at the same time tomorrow. And with that, the third day of our desperate appeal was over. Getting closer and closer to the end. To Wanakagashi.
俺、ケイチ。うん。帰ってから食べるよ。だからうちに帰らず、このまま集会所に行っちゃうよ。父さんはもう行ってるんだね。わかったわかった。了解。
I called my mom and told her that I'd be going to a meeting without coming home. I get there kind of early, but if I went home first, I wouldn't make it in time. Mion, Rika-chan, and Irei were going to head there with me. Shion said that she was also coming, and now Lena didn't want to go home alone either.
うちのお父さんは今日職場の飲み会で遅くなるって聞いてるからレナも行く。お邪魔にならないかな
なりはしないよ。むしろ若い子の関心があることが分かった方がみんな喜ぶでしょう。
平均年齢がぐんと若返りますです。
私も久しぶりに君吉のおじいちゃんに挨拶したいですし。
We all headed towards the Furude shrine in the dim light. The light was on in the assembly building. Some people had already arrived.
こんばんは。皆さんお早いですね。
あんれ、みおんちゃんにわーぜ来たね。入江の先生もこんばんは。
どうもこんばんは。皆さんもお早いですね。
他になんもすることがねえんだけよ。
More people started coming into the meeting hall. Everyone seemed to come so early. Should probably come earlier from now on too.
あれあれ、今日はハイカラな靴が多いなと思ったら、若い人が大勢来てるじゃないの。シオンちゃんもお久しぶり。今日はどうしたの？
Everyone bowed to the newest arrival. It was the mayor, Kimiroshi-san. He strode into the room with the other committee members.
どうもお久しぶりです。お姉たちと遊んでて、そのままの流れで遊びに来ちゃいました。
そうかいそうかい。よく来たね。シオンちゃんも綿流しのお祭り、今年はぜひいらっしゃいよ。
ええ。 今年はぜひ遊びに来ようと思います。何しろケイちゃんが司会のオークションはぜひ見たいですし。
前原君の司会もそうだけど、これからは祭りのいろんな仕事を少しずつ若い子に移していかないといけないね。そうだそうだ、みおんちゃんに相談したいことがあったんだ。ちょっとこっち来てくれないかな。
はいはい、どうしました？ひょっとして模擬店部会の横田さん、まだ怒ってるんですか？
いやね。
Mion headed outside with Higurashi-san and the other community members. There's only one room in the building, so they have to go outside if they want to talk in private.
今日が木曜日だからお祭りまであと3日なんだね。
3 more days, huh?
ケイイチ君の準備は万端なのかな？
準備も何もねえな。あるのは覚悟と出たとこ勝負のアドリブだけだよ。
ケイイチは苦し紛れな方が面白いことを言いますです。
Everyone left. We continued to chat about the festival. We talked about what kind of festival young people like us would want to see, that sort of stuff. Suddenly, Mion tapped me on the shoulder.
ケイちゃん、ちょっと話が。
She gestured for me to follow her out front without letting the others know. What did she want? Once outside, I see Mion, Chi-sensei, and the principal.
あ、知恵先生、校長先生、どうも。こんばんは。
Chi-sensei responded to my greeting, but the principal must not have heard me since he didn't. His eyes were closed. He seemed lost in thought. That sight caused our happy, chatty feelings to cool off quickly. My intuition told me this had to be something bad.
前原君にちょっとだけお話があります。
あまり良くない話みたいですね。
うん。明日もみんなでまた交渉に行くんですね。
ええ。どこまでも戦うのが仲間の務めですから。今日ほど集まるかは分かりませんが、明日もまた集まろうとみんなに言ってあります。な、だよな、ミオ。
前原君、集まる人たちに約束した手前もあるでしょうから、明日はとりあえず仕方がありませんが、それを最後にしばらく様子を見ませんか？
Thanks to the advice from Moshi-san last night, I already had an idea of the situation.
知恵先生のそれも忠告ですか？これ以上話が大きくなると村のお偉方も見て見ぬふりができなくなる。だからここいら辺で自重しろってことですか？
前原君、私はあなた方のしていることは正しいと思う。だからあなたは正しいと思ったことを堂々としてくれればいいと思っています。でも
She stopped talking after that. Chi-sensei was supporting us until just yesterday. She even came to the Child Consolation Center with us on the second day. So for her to say something completely the opposite, I felt slightly dizzy from the shock of it.
ケイちゃん、知恵先生の名誉のために補足するよ。知恵先生は個人的には私たちを支持してくれてる。でも
何かの圧力がかかったってわけか。
知恵先生は圧力なんかに屈する人じゃない。ケイちゃんは知恵先生がどれだけ正義心にあふれる人か知らないだろうね。かつてこの分校が分校と認められず単なる廃校の校舎でしかなかった時、知恵先生はやってきてくれた。
I think Mion told me about that story before. The school was closed when the damn conflict happened. However, the village children still came to the school to learn. There were no teachers there, though, because the school wasn't officially operating. That was when Chi-sensei arrived. After they won the damn conflict, the Sonozaki family and other villagers made an appeal, and the school's existence was finally proved. Our school did not have an easy start. The government was against it, but the villagers forced them to approve. Chi-sensei came along with us on our appeal yesterday. That was very courageous of her, but now people who want to close the school are paying attention to what we're doing.
結論から言うと、千恵先生はもう私たちには協力できないって。
Chi-sensei stared at the ground as Mion spoke. I never seen her look so sad.
私だけの問題ならこの身がどうなってもいい。一人の生徒のために戦えず教師なんて名乗りたくない。でも私たちの学校の存在までは脅かせないのです。
I don't know who told her this. Whoever it was, they warned her not to escalate things around Satoko's case. They threatened the existence of his school to make her obey and pressured her with responsibilities she couldn't take on her own.
俺さ、昨日大石さんからそんな話を聞かされてるんだ。それもまさにこの場所でさ。これ以上騒ぎを大きくすると、北条家を未だによく思ってない年寄りどもと対立することになる。みたいなのをな。
大石にそんな話を聞かされたんだ。うん。そう間違った話じゃないよ。
Mion looked at the ground along with Chi-sensei. I always thought Chi-sensei and Mion were stronger people. So seeing them both hang their heads like this is hopeless made me feel like we were being pushed into a dead end, and I hated it.
だいたいお前さっきのさっきまで俺たちと一緒に行ったじゃないかよ。そして明日も来られる人は来てくれってみんなに言ったじゃないか。そのミオンと一緒に集会所にやってきてどこで弱気なミオンと入れ替わっちまったんだよ。
When I said when did she get swapped, I really thought of one thing. The mayor took her outside the building earlier. Did he?
そっか。さっき村長がミオンを外に呼んだのはそういう話だったんだな。
まあいろいろとね。
It felt painful to see her fake a smile like that. She was only out here with him for about 10 minutes. What the hell did he tell her that crushed her spirit?
ミオンも千恵先生も俺の知ってる二人は最高に強い誇れて憧れる友人であり先生だ。その二人がほんの一晩二晩で意見を覆すことになるようなどんな圧力があったかは俺には想像がつかない。
I didn't feel like getting mad at them. They were just as passionate about saving Satoko as I was. Towards them I felt nothing but pity.
前原君、私はなんて言っていいか。
ええ、千恵先生が謝ることじゃないです。
I could feel an angry tone entering my voice. I had enough.
教えてくれ。どうして村の年寄りたちは未だ北条家を嫌うんだ。もうダム戦争は終わってる。残された里子には何の罪もないはずだ。なのにどうしてここまで嫌うんだ。誰が嫌ってる。誰のせいだ。そいつに俺が話をつける。
北条家を嫌ってる人間は実はいないのかもしれないって思うよ。
何？お前は何を言ってるんだ。
ダム戦争で北条家は村の旧敵だった。村全体でそういう風に盛り上げたからね。 その先般である夫婦が死に、残された聡子に罪がないのは誰もがうすうす知っている。でも北条家を許そうと誰かが号令をかけたわけじゃないんだよ。
その辺は私も補足します。
シオン。
It wasn't just Shion who appeared. Wen and Rika-chan were out there with her. They'd come out to check on me and overheard what we were talking about.
北条家をスケープゴートにして結束してきたこの村は未だ北条家に怯えているんです。怯えているというのは怖いという意味じゃない。
Fear.
北条家と縁があると思われたら自分も村からスケープゴートにされてしまうかもしれないと恐れていたのです。
In other words, if you help a member of the Hojo family, you might get attacked by the village just like they did. They still feel that way years after the conflict.
そんなことってあるの？だって学校ではみんな聡子ちゃんと普通に接してたよ。
Because they were young people. Kids.
もちろんそれは村のお年寄りだけの話なのです。でもそれは村の深部でもあります。
みんなはそれを多分その先本家のバッチャの意志だろうと思ってるでしょ。でもそういうわけじゃない。バッチャだってやっぱり恐れてるんだよ。自分が北条家を擁護したら村の年寄り連中に対して求心力を失ってしまうのではないかって思ってる。
なんだかややこしいぞ。つまりどういうことなんだ？俺は誰を殴りゃいいんだ。
If only the world was as simple as that, Kachi.
つまり本当は誰も北条家を嫌ってなんかいないんだよ。誰もが内心はもう許してもいいと思ってる。でもそれを口に出せない。
Once it's been ingrained into the, I don't know what to say, the culture, into the public conscious of not to associate with a family. Everyone just assumes that. They don't want to change that. I mean, they do, they don't. It's a complicated issue. It's fighting against what has happened in the past. 'Cause that hasn't changed, Satoko can't be helped with the family, with the Sonozaki family. It's, I mean, it's true in a lot of, like, you know, history of so many horrible things being accepted into the public conscience without anybody, you know, trying to change it, be it big things or small things, but still horrible things. And then eventually people try to change it, try to fix the wrong, and they can succeed in it, but there's still that mark on the public conscience of that happening in the past that some people still believe in, you know, that opinion.
自分以外はみんな未だ北条家を敵視してると信じてる。
つまり相互に誤解しているってこと？
そういうことです。個別に聞けばわかります。誰も聡子のことを嫌ってなんかいないんです。両親が死んで、それがけじめになったと思っています。だからばあさんもその後は北条家に一切関わるなと号令を出しました。でも北条家を許すとは号令を出せなかった。
それはきっと僕のお父さんのせいもあるのです。
What?
リカちゃんの？どうして？
僕のお父さんはずっとのんびりと構えていたので、村の人たちからリーダー失格だとずっと言われてきたのです。
リカちゃんのお父さんはハト派だったからね。冷静に状況が読める人だったと思う。でも祭りのように反ダムで燃え上がった人々はもっと過激なタカ派のリーダーを求めていたんだよ。だからバッチャはひなみ沢を一つにまとめるため、あえてみんなが求めたタカ派リーダーを演じたんだよ。
つまりタカ派リーダーを演じてる手前、自分から北条家を許すとは言い出せないってわけか。
Can't change the appearance, that image.
うん。お年寄りは主義を曲げないことを模範と思うからね。最初に掲げた方針はなかなか変えられないんだよ。
そんなのってひどい。だってそれじゃ誰もが人のせいにしながら聡子ちゃんを許してあげてないってことだよ。自分が許すと村の人に陰口を叩かれるかもしれないから許してあげられないなんてあんまりだよ。
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. They want to fight against the status quo. You don't want to change it, because what would other people think of you? You know.
当時はね、貧しい家なんかには保証金が欲しくて立ち退きを受け入れてもいいと思ってる人が少なからずいたんだよ。でもそれを口に出すとはばかられる状況だった。そんな中、それを堂々と公言したのが北条家だったんだよ。それに勇気づけられて立ち退き派が派閥を作りそうな勢いになった。みんなも今日までのお役所とのやり取りをしてて分かったと思うけど、住民運動というのは一枚岩じゃないといけないんだよ。村の総意であるか否かがとても大切なこと。だから実はダム戦争の直前、ひなみ沢は戦争どころか内部分裂状態だったんだよ。
僕のお父さんが日和見主義だったからそうなったんだとみんなは言いました。お父さんはダムなんてできるわけがない。きっと話し合いで平和的に解決できるというのんびりした立場だったのです。そしてそれが立ち退き派を許す温床になったと非難されたのです。
立ち退き派って不思議な響きだね。初めて聞くよ。村の人はよくダムの推進派って言わない？
She's right. They usually claim that their enemies supported the project itself.
立ち退き派っていうよりダム推進派って方が悪っぽそうな感じでしょ。立ち退きじゃ単に喧嘩を嫌って逃れるだけの平和的なイメージがある。でもダム推進派なら。
なるほどな。ダム推進派っていうとなんだか利的行為というか、村をダム湖に沈めようとする裏切り者みたいなイメージになるな。
Yeah. Change the narrative by substituting certain words for others. Make it more black and white.
イメージ戦略というものです。
Coach had appeared. He came outside after noticing how long we'd been gone.
当時のひなみ沢には戦争直前の全体主義のような空気が蔓延していたんです。ハト派のフルデシでは逆に分裂を招いた。なら全体を一丸とするにはタカ派になるしかないと当時の園崎家は考えたんです。
ちょっと話が見えてきました。つまりこういうことですね。村を反ダムで一つにまとめるために北条家に裏切り者のレッテルを貼って徹底攻撃して見せしめにした。それがあまりに集中的だったので立ち退き派の人たちは恐ろしくなり終始替えせざるを得なかった。
I really like how this game is outlining the good and the bad of the sense of unity, you know? Because the village had the sense of unity against the dam, when other people spoke out, you know, against that message, the entire village was starting to say they shunned them. They just shunned them away from the community, and because of shunning them, that weaves marks, weaves lasting aftermaths for the people part of the Hojo family. But unity can also be good in order to fight against an injustice. But if someone else has a different opinion than that, then not everybody's united. Then the force you're trying to face against will see that you are not fully united. So you have to shun them away, or else it won't work. Once again, the theme of duality.
Hojo家と親交があればダム推進派なのだろうと疑われました。だから誰もが怖がって北条家に近づかなかった。すれ違っても見て見ぬふりをし、話しかけられても無視をしたのです。
もちろんそれは北条夫妻の2人を指名したはずなのですが、いつの間にか北条家という分かりやすい看板が一人歩きを始めました。その結果、おじおば夫婦の家もとばっちりを受けたそうです。皮肉ですね。その時の冷遇の恨みが募り、聡子ちゃんにひどい仕打ちをする温床となっているのですから。
Her uncle and aunt were not in support of the dam project, but because of Satoko's parents, they were also attacked. After Satoko's parents died, they were forced to take care of their 2 children. It finally makes sense. I can see the whole picture now.
ダム戦争は終わった上に聡子ちゃんの両親は亡くなった。ならそういう変な遺恨は全部水に流そうって言い出した園崎家がちゃんと終了宣言を出すべきじゃないのかな。
The thing is, they can't just admit a mistake they did. Can't reverse a change. That would fuck up their public image. What about the reputation?
そこで最初の話に戻るんです。北条家に温情的な宣言を出したら、園崎家当主はダム戦争当時の幹部級、つまり町会のお偉方への求心力を失うのではないかと恐れたんです。
舐められたらおしまいってのはどうやらお役所だけじゃなく園崎家もそうみたいだな。
Institution isn't as powerful if the people don't believe in it.
これは私が直接バッチャに聞いたから間違いない。バッチャは北条家は放っておけとの号令を出すまでが精一杯。そして自分が死んで当主が変わったら、その就任の時にダム戦争の完全終了宣言を出して北条家に対する遺恨を完全に流そうと、そういう話になってるんだよ。これはお母さんも知ってる。その話は私もお母さんに聞いてます。大ババ様の世間体とかいうやつですね。
話をちょいと戻すぜ。ミオンと千恵先生にさっき脅しをかけたのは村長たち、町会のお偉方連中だったと思う。その連中はどうなんだ、内心。まだ北条家を恨んでるのか？
それが笑っちゃうんです。実は君吉のおじいちゃんだって誰だってもう北条家を恨んでなんかないってんです。
つまり悲しい話なんですが、彼らにとってまだダム戦争は尾を引いているんです。北条家と親交があったら後ろ指を刺されるかもしれないと未だに恐れているんです。
でもリカちゃんとか監督は普通にさとこちゃんと接してるじゃないですか。
私は若く、そもそも町会にそれほどのしがらみを持ちませんから。そしてリカちゃんは特別です。なぜなら彼女はお社様の生まれ変わりだから。
お社様は人と鬼の相入れぬ存在を融和させて住まわせた伝説を持つ。だからつまり
村にいられない身である北条家の人間を引き取っても納得されたというわけか。
After hearing all this, I'm beginning to understand how difficult it was for Satoko to live in this village. She always acted bright and cheerful in school and the club. I thought that was her whole world. But I had no idea how she felt when she was walking around alone in the village. She probably went grocery shopping even knowing that people were going to ignore her. She felt the coldness from them, but she was standing strong on her feet. I had no idea she was going through something like that. I knew she went through tough times during the Dan conflict, but I had no clue that she was struggling to this day.
なんて悲しい話。そしてなんてバカバカしい話。
レナもそう思うか？俺も全く同じに思ったぜ。
誰もがさとこちゃんのことを何とも思ってないのに関わると何か良くないことがあると思ってる。悪いのは誰なの？誰でもないの？そう思わせる風土や世間体が悪いの？
誰も悪くない。なのに他の誰かを気にして自分も許せないか。
うん。そういう空気は良い方向に流れてる時はいいんだよ。思いやりがあって連帯感のあるいいご近所付き合いを生み出す。でも北条家の件は正反対。そういう思い込みがカビのように蔓延しちゃってどうにもならない。腐った畳はどうすると思う？捨てて新しくするしかないんだよ。
じゃあ村長たちは自分たちが聡子を気に入らないから圧力をかけてるんじゃなくて、俺たちのやっていることを黙認すると村の誰かという意もしない存在に後ろ指を刺されるかもしれないと怯えているから黙認できないと、そういうわけなんだな。
Gotta put up that image. Gotta keep going with the narrative. Gotta keep going with what's happened before. And even if what happened before part of the public consciousness is bad, he still gotta agree with it. Gotta still pressure other people not to interact with it, to leave it alone, to keep up the same narrative.
私はその意もしない誰かをとりあえずお社様のたたりって呼んでます。だって誰もがそのいない誰かに気遣ってる。でもその誰かは存在しない。人じゃない。
Shion's theory sounded interesting. Everyone follows the wolves because they're afraid of that someone. However, even the leaders of the village are afraid of the same thing. Everyone in the village is following the wolves because they're afraid of someone who doesn't even exist. They still follow the wolves of damned conflict, thinking they'll be cursed if they forgive Satoko. Who the hell is that someone? They could only call it the curse of Oshiro-sama. Oshiro-sama cursed the Hojo family because they supported the dam project. They still believe that, and Satoko is struggling because of it.
お社様は聡子をたたったりしないのですよ。むしろ可愛いとすら思っていますです。そんなことでお社様の名前を使わないであげてほしいのです。
Vika-chan made a sad face. She's the shrine maiden from Oshiro-sama and the reincarnation of Oshiro-sama. I don't think there's a curse in this village at all. Everyone's just convinced that there is.
ってことはだ。つまり、一番悪いのは沖宮の生活相談所じゃなくて。
There isn't a curse, but everyone is convinced that there is. What a poignant line. Because we believe there was a curse in the beginning. In the questions arc, we believe there was a curse, be it supernatural or realistic, be it a string of murders or a string of curses set upon Oshiro-sama. I think they were just all random incidents that just so happened to happen on the same day that caused us to believe there is a curse. And once you believe in that narrative, can't get your head out of it until you are truly shown something shocking. I mean, hell, I did it. I believed in the whole catchy thing in chapter 1. I was so goddamn convinced of it until chapter 6. God, this game is so good. Able to put in it narratively and able to convince the viewer, the audience member of it as well.
どうやらこの村丸ごとってことになりそうだな。
うん。私もそう思った。私もついさっきまでは相談所に何度も陳情をすればきっと聞き入れてもらえると思ってたけど、そんなのは何の解決にもならないって今分かった。
カビた畳か。上だけ拭いたって無駄だよな。
God.
俺たちが相談所に
Damn.
仮に貞子が救われても、そいつは一時しのぎにしかならなかったらしい。どうやら畳の根元から腐ったやつを根こそぎ引きずり出してやらなきゃならねえようだな。
その畳の根元ってなんだか私たちのすっごくすぐ近くにみんな集まってるように思うね。
ちけえな。多分20メートル以内にほとんど揃ってるんじゃねえのか。
ちょっとケイちゃん、レナも何を始めるつもりなの？
ミオ、お前は確かに村の深部の人間だ。サトコのことを仲間だと思っていても踏み出せない最後の一歩ってやつがある。この村としがらみのあるミオンとチエ先生が圧力に屈するほかなかったのがその証拠だ。だがな、何のしがらみもねえ俺はな、そんなのに屈する必要が何もねえ。
前原さん、まさかこの場で。
俺はやるぜ。腐った畳なんかこの俺がぶち抜いてやろうじゃねえか。なんだ、レナもやるか？
うん、私はこう見えても容赦ないよ。
だよな。でもレナの場合は少し手加減した方がいいな。お前本気でやるとなったら学校一つを爆破くらいはする気がするぜ。
Man, wouldn't that be crazy?
圭一くんだってやると決めたら金属バットで闇討ちくらいはしそうな気がするな。
Wouldn't that be crazy?
お互い敵には回したくねえな。じゃあ行くか。ミオンの立場は十分分かってるぜ。だからミオンは立場上俺と敵対してくれて全然 OK だ。ただしヤバいと感じたら逃げとけよ。今日は部活以上にヤバいぜ。本気のもう一つ上の本気で行くからな。
As the next head of her family, she shouldn't agree with me, but she stared in somewhat approval of what I was about to do.
わかった。ケイちゃんが捨て身の覚悟で行くというなら私もやるよ。
そうでなくちゃな。見てろ、ガツンと言ってやるからな。
しーちゃんはどうする？
私は幸い失うものなんかありませんので協力します。
知恵先生と校長先生の立場は分かってます。ですが今日は学校じゃない。だからどうか俺たちのやることを見過ごしてください。
そうですね。私は今は教師ではありません。私も校長先生もあなたたちに意志を託します。
私は協力させていただきます。村を出てけと言われたら診療所を畳むくらいの覚悟はありますよ。それに未来のメイドさんを守るためにご主人様が一肌脱ぐのは当然のことです。
Ooh, I can feel everyone's power flowing into me. I'm not even going to try and cool down. I need to be fired up for something like this. As I turned back, I noticed Oshi-san and my dad. Didn't know how long they'd been standing there.
前原さん、なんだか燃え上がっちゃってるみたいですね。
大石さん、昨日教えてくれたじゃないですか。男には降りられない戦いがあるって。被験牌を強打ちしてでも貫かなくちゃならないことってのがある。
圭一、
父さん、止めないでくれよ。確かにご近所付き合いも大事だけどな。でも俺は仲間のために。
父さんは止めんぞ。
え？
He gave me a big smile. I've never seen my dad smile like that before.
お前が今大石さんに言った通りだ。男には折れちゃいかん時がある。その時は男の人生のどこかにあるものなんだ。圭一にとってのその時が今だというなら父さんは何も言わん。
圭一くんのお父さんかっこいいね。
当たり前だろ。俺の親父だぜ。俺の半分程度はかっこいい。
私はひなみ沢の部外者です。だからどちらの味方もできませんが、前原さんの立ち回り拝見させていただきますよ。乗るか反るかの大勝負、どうせ切るならど真ん中ってのがおやすさんの口癖でしたよ。危険牌を切ると覚悟を決めたら変に妥協しちゃいけない。降りるならベタ降り、勝負ならど真ん中とはっきりした方がいい。
麻雀は得点が倍々計算だからな。変に弱気に 2,3 度上がっても一度の大きな上がりにすぐひっくり返されちゃう。勝負手の時はとことん強気がいいんだ。
おや、前原さんのお父さんも麻雀をやられますか。
They started talking about Mahjong together. This is going to be interesting. Someone from the committee came out and told us to come inside for the meeting. It was time for it to start.
よっしゃ、行こうぜ。ようやく土俵に上がれるって感じだぜ。
Oh shit.
心情の時は一人相撲のように感じていたのはやっぱり正しかったんだね。
ああ、本当の土俵はこっちだったんだ。俺たちは3日間全然的違いな相手と戦っていたんだ。行こうぜ。
Someone pulled my shirt. It was Rika-chan.
圭一、
リカちゃんはサトコの一番の友人であると同時に御三家の一人でもある。だから俺とレナがやることを黙って見ててくれるだけでいい。だからもしサトコを救うために少しでも力を貸してくれるなら応援してくれな。
あの石頭ども打ち破るというの。
打ち破るさ、楽々な。前に言ったぜ、こんなの金魚すくいの網より薄いぜ。楽勝でぶち抜いてやる。
God damn.
はあ、一体どうなってしまうのでしょう。村の風土を指してお社様のたたりか。シオンも面白い例えをするわね。圭一にも打ち破れるの、お社様のたたり。
He will break it. Kechi has the power to break everything. It's not just Kechi's power, though. Because everyone is working together, Kechi is able to break anything. This energy is more powerful than the lucky 6 on the die.
運じゃない、実力で運命を打ち破る。
Everyone followed Kechi and entered the assembly hall. I followed in after them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this with Kechi. If this doesn't work out, that's it for me. I'm going to give it my very best. Whew, shit, man. Okay, that's it. Alright. Shit, man. Underside. That's the real problem. We need to change the village's mind, not the child consolation centers. Shit, man. It's going to be hard. Change traditions. It's always been hard. A lot of people have fought against traditions in the real world for hundreds and hundreds of years. And by God, are we going to fight for Satoko? Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this type of content, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something, put it down in the comments below. And check out the Discord server I hang out in, or my Twitter, check the description below. And yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!